What is up, everybody? What is going on? Welcome to Tuck Rule Takes, episode 150. Gentlemen, real quick, round of applause. Air horn. I love the air horn.
The air horn's good.
Episode 150 of Tuck Rule Takes. I am ecstatic to be here with you guys. I'm Mike. Liam's here. Al's here. Ladies and gentlemen, we also got some other news.
Crank that shit. Let's go.
Little remix going on
here. We have done it. We got here.
We made it through the doldrums.
We had so much to talk about. Guys, the Patriots, a crushing loss to the Dolphins. David Andrews is out for the year. Jabril Peppers is probably going to be out once he gets arrested for, doing what he did, some DV he decided to do. But gentlemen, none of it mattered. The future is bright. You see if you're watching. I have the sunglasses on. I'm also wearing black because it is the funeral for the rest of the AFC. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Liam, Al, my fellow hosts, my friends, Drake Maye is going to be the starting quarterback for the New England Patriots on Sunday against the Texans.
I'm just happy I don't have to
Listen to you fucking flip out every week that Jacoby Brissett is our quarterback.
I was ready. I had notes, but I don't even care. I am elated. But gentlemen, thoughts, and I figured, I don't want to put the, you know what? I'm going to tease it. We got to tease people. We can't just go right for this section. You got to do some of the foreplay a little bit.
True. Absolutely. Warm it up.
So just that little intro, just ready. If you're watching on YouTube, if you don't want to listen to what we're going to talk about beforehand, which is Patriots related, do the little tab thing. Bookmarks are in there. Go to where you need to be. If you're listening on whatever you listen to, just keep hitting that little 15, 30-second button until you start hearing us yell about Drake Maye. I'm taking the glasses off for this because this is not going to be a good conversation.
This is not going to be a good conversation.
This was going to be a bad episode because of this. Patriots lost to the Dolphins 15-10. Dropped to 1-4. Totally winnable game. Jacoby Brissett 18-34 for 160. Ramondre 12 of 89 for a touchdown. Demario Douglas 6 for 59. Just a fucking demoralizing game. What are you guys' thoughts on this game? Good thoughts, I take it, right?
Oh, yeah. Fantastic. First of all, and by the way, Liam, I'm just going to cut in. Sorry. First things first, can we figure out what the hell a catch is in the NFL? Can we figure that out, please? Jalen Polk. Now, I understand the rule. It's a good call, but a bad rule. That's what this situation is. The call was technically correct. Jalen Polk's heels hit the back of the end zone, incomplete. But it's a bad rule because his toes were in. He had it. So can we just figure it out and keep it consistent across the board with the catch rule, please? That's number one.
Yep.
Number two, and I know, Mike, you and I argued about this in the group chat, so I figured let's
care, Al. I don't even care.
I know, but let's just
what's up?
You gotta hash it out.
Listen,
now,
I've been combating with people all day, so I'm feeling very combative today. So I'm gonna go. Well, Liam, you saw the text messages today. So
I actually wasn't paying attention.
Oh wow! You should go back and read them for a good laugh. You're having too much fun with those sound effects. So the last play of the game, right? Jacoby Brissett rolls out, hits Hunter Henry down the field, 10-yard line. Game ends because the Patriots can't go up and spike it. And I know what I said in the group chat, so I'll stay consistent with it. Throwing it downfield, obviously, to try to get some yardage is the right thing to do. Miami played it really well, where they were like, we're not giving them the sidelines. Like, that's the right thing to do on defense.
Yep.
Having watched the replay and now having actually slowed it down and seeing it, you can see that if Jacoby Brissett can just get around the right edge rusher he can probably sneak for about 10 to 12 yards. Got about 5 seconds left. And you're looking at about a 29, 30-yard touchdown pass potentially for the end of the game. So I can understand that. It's with Jacoby Brissett. He's a veteran. He needs to know, throw the ball out of bounds, just do something, but you have to make sure that you give yourself a chance to win the game.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Right before he releases, 9 seconds on the clock. There wouldn't have been no time. He wouldn't have run all the time off trying to head there, but there was a guy in between. He probably could have got a little closer and gotten out of bounds. Probably still had, like you said, 4 seconds on the clock, but he wasn't getting the first down.
No, probably not. Like, that's best case scenario. Right. That's best case scenario. So,
Do you guys know who probably could have got the first down?
Drake May.
Proceed with your conversation.
I don't think Lamar Jackson could get the first down.
No, definitely not.
But yeah, I mean,
But
listen, it's just in this game, you feel bad for the defense. That's my last thing. They gave up 1 touchdown late in the game. Granted, it was, Snoop Dogg Huntley.
fullback touchdown.
But even still, throwback touchdown to the fullback.
Blocked
But even
punt,
still, you held.
interceptions.
Yeah. It was perfect.
And then not only that, right, you did a lot of things right. You got a blocked punt. Christian Gonzalez, first pick of the year. Finally, thank God for Christian Gonzalez.
So good.
He's so much fun to watch. He's one of the bright spots, the few bright spots in this team to watch.
That Tyreek Hill touchdown that wasn't a touchdown because he pushed his foot out of bounds. I was like, fuck.
Oh, that was
Why
funny.
was everybody, even the announcers, were like, "Oh, let's see." I'm like, even if his
Feel
foot
like he wasn't
happened to get
close.
in, his whole back landed out of bounds. But I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Al.
No. The last thing I'm just going to say is, but even with all that, you did a lot of things good. You did a lot of things bad too. You had like 12 to 14 penalties, too many penalties. And the end of the first half, Alex Van Pelt throwing plays when they could have run the clock, had Miami force them to use their timeouts and then have less time to score, all that stuff. But
12 for 105, by the way.
disgusting.
Patriots penalties.
With all that being said, you still lost the game. You're at 1-4. Like Mike said, demoralizing loss. And don't get me wrong, I am ecstatic that Jacoby Brissett's out, Drake May's in. But I'm hoping that people understand that it's not going to go from cellar dwellers to Super Bowl contenders overnight. It's going to take time, even with Drake May. So I just hope people are aware of that. So that's all I got for this game.
I have a point. The offensive fucking decision making is the stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life. Like it's kid playing Madden 101. It is, if you're a coach at the highest level getting millions of dollars to make decisions, you're completely fucking this entire thing up. At the end of the game, they could have kicked a field goal, and instead of going for it on 4th down, which ended up being the Jalen Polk out of bounds, and then they had 3 timeouts. We end up stopping them, getting the ball back anyway, and running out of time. If you had kicked a field goal, we could have benefited from that Marcus Jones long return. Jacoby wouldn't have to throw it inbounds to Hunter Henry. We were close enough from the return, basically, to just kick a motherfucking field goal and win by 1.
I don't know, man, because I thought that too. Because you never know. You're down there. Do you take the points? That's hindsight, man.
I get it.
I know that the defense has been doing well, and even
but
if you think
you have
the
3
defense can
touchdowns.
stop them, you have 3 timeouts. You can stop them. That's fine. But how? First of all, no one knew Marcus Jones was going to return that. You never know. But also, do you think that this anemic offense could have gotten into field goal? You just don't know. It's one of those,
But
flip a coin.
if you have an anemic offense, you shouldn't go for it on 4th down. Or you should. And
then you can say how often you're going to be down there.
Yeah,
So
but we got the holding call, which pushed us back 15 yards. You're definitely not scoring now on this drive. It is 4th and 15, I think, was what we got the Jalen Polk touchdown on. Just after that, maybe that was 3rd down.
The Jalen Polk play was on 2nd down. It was second. It was second.
So then
10.
after that was the holding call, which pushed us back. Yeah. But it's fucking ridiculous. I'm like, come on now. I get it. Hindsight's 2020. If the offense is so anemic and the defense was crushing it all day, use the 3 timeouts. At least, we would have lost 15-13 instead of 15-10.
Right. And not only that, to that point, Hunter Henry getting a false start penalty late in the game, that's really, really crucial. Again, those 5 yards, are a difference. And that's the type of stuff that this Patriots team, and I'm going to go back to the Brady years for a second. That's what never happened in the Brady Belichick years. You never had penalties like that. You were
Never.
disciplined. And it seems like more the past 3 years especially, but you could even say like the Cam year and the first Mac year, there's still some penalties that you scratch your head at and you're like, I thought we cleaned this shit up.
12 men
Like,
on the
clean it
field.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Joshua Uche, too many men on the field penalty. And also, where's Gerard Mayo on that? That's a rookie mistake on Gerard Mayo's part. Call a timeout. Call a timeout,
Yeah.
get everything
Yeah.
situated. But
Happens
it's
a lot, though.
to be
Like,
expected. It's to be expected.
Yeah.
But as a former middle linebacker, he should know the offense when he was playing is going to get a free play unless he gets all of his guys off the field and on the field with proper personnel. Like, you should fucking know that because you had to do that. So Aaron Rodgers didn't get a free play on us every play. I find that fucking preposterous.
I agree. He definitely should have done something. And it's like, it's not just a Mayo thing. A lot of coaches, young coaches, first-time coaches, there's growing pains. There's speed bumps. Like Belichick obviously would have been all over that shit. Most likely, even though it has happened on Belichick coach teams too. But you guys want to talk about mistakes, kind of like messing with the flow of the game or mistakes being missed opportunities. I'll talk about like kind of just missed opportunities from good players. Christian Gonzalez maybe had a pick six if he picks that ball in the end zone and gets away from Tyreek Hill and runs back. And it's just it's not even a criticism of him because he did what you want. He broke up the pass. He almost picked it off. But the Dolphins went down and got 3 on that. What if you happen to pick it off? You run it down to the 30, either Miami's 30 or 30, whatever. Maybe you go down and kick a field goal. You're up 3. That's a 6-point swing. The Patriots lost by 5. It's like just all these things. And like I said, it's not a shot at Gonzalez. It's just things that would go other teams' ways or would go the Patriots' ways in previous years. They're just not. Like, dropped picks are the biggest thing.
Story of the last 2 seasons.
Dude, because you see it. It's like, oh, they should have picked that off. And you can almost bet on it every time. It's like, oh, they're probably going to score on this drive then. And that's what happened. So it's like just missed opportunities, not great. I will say, though, Marte Mapu, I'm in. He wore the green dot, played well. Like, I'm happy.
Should have had that pick in the end zone. Still pretty cool.
Liam, that's what I'm saying. Like, yes, he should have had that pick.
Yeah.
But it's like, he didn't. You're happy he broke up the play. Off the top of my head, I don't remember what happened on that drive or whatever else. But, like, just a pick, momentum, things change. Like, just big things. But I am happy to see him play with Duggar back there.
Yeah.
Because you got Hawkins, because Pepper's probably not going to play. We all know Pepper's arrested, domestic violence. He's probably he might play another game. Cause that's
God, I hope not. I hope he plays. I hope they don't suspend him. I love fucking Peppers. Please don't do this.
His hearing has been pushed to like November 22nd, so he
Good.
might play until then, and then he might whatever it is. But if you can have Mapu back there with Duggar, Jalen Hawkins looked good too, so I think that's good. Mapu can kind of help with the safeties and the linebackers because he can kind of do both. I was happy with him. Do you guys have other bright spots? Because we know this game, the outcome is a huge negative. The offense we know is a negative. Missed plays, whether it's blocking, holding, quarterback play, receiver play, whatever you want to say. A bunch of missed things, which led into what we're going to end the podcast talking about. But do you guys have any other positives you want to take from this game?
Pop Douglas.
Yeah.
Dude,
He's always open. Watch replays. He's always open.
Just getting him involved. You could tell after, I think it was the Jets game. After the Jets game, he was visibly frustrated, understandably so. Yep. Look at what he's done the next 2 games. Now, granted, San Francisco was really bad any way you look at it, but he still looked pretty good. And the Miami game, I mean, he's catching passes over the middle and giving the Patriots chances to win games. He can move the football for you. And right now, when you have him and Kendrick Bourne and Jalen Polk all playing well, there's your 3 receivers that you can count on, and then you can kind of cycle in Kayshon Boutte, who I thought actually played decently.
Good game
in the Miami game.
That was going to be my point. I love me some Kayshon Boutte.
KJ Osborne can rotate in as well. So you have some options there now. and especially if Pop's stretching the chains and he's, extending drives and everything, that's what you want. That's what you wanted to see from Pop Douglas in his second year. And it's good that you got a glimpse of it. Hopefully now with Drake May, you see even more of it.
Yeah,
Liam,
absolutely.
talk about it. Booty. He played
Fired
well, man.
up. Yeah, he did. And like he gets in there such limited time. Like I always think about like basketball players, like when you bring in a six man, it's so difficult to be a six man because you haven't played, the first quarter basically, and you come in and you're like, all right, get in rhythm, make some
No
shots.
flow.
It's
Yeah.
very difficult. Yeah. So they like Booty go in there and become the second leading receiver of this game just in the fourth quarter, basically, because he got a few snaps in the second, I believe, but for the most part, he wasn't even in there. And I guess it's official. The Patriots have given up on Tyquan Thornton. I heard he was on the trade block. Tiny Wrist is out of here, or
Sucks,
just gonna not play. But yeah, we're officially done with Tyquan Thornton. We can stop the Tiny Wrist debate every preseason that we have on if he's gonna play. It is booty season. It's big booty season, and he was out there. That fucking catch in the fourth quarter, glorious. And my point, I was fully prepared to come on here and say, hey, Jacoby Brissett threw the ball the farthest pass that I've seen him throw all season, either to Hunter Henry or to Kayshon Boutte. Both were equally deep, and he was throwing the ball downfield. But now that's kind of a mute talking point now.
Oh, we ain't got to talk about it. One last thing. Al, I know you've kind of been a proponent of this. Liam, I know you have too. Actually, no, you haven't because you don't like the guy. Mike Onwenu, playing guard, looked great. Looked really good. The offensive line, a good game. Vidarian Lowe, left tackle, we're all, how's he doing? Gave up 0 pressures that game. Now, again, take that with what you will. There might be 1 or 2 maybe you could throw on him, whatever. But overall, good game from everybody but the center.
He sucks.
And you can't – the center thing, the Patriots are on their third-string center. Like, it's going to be rough. We'll see what happens. But for the most part right now, you got to be happy with the offensive line play, especially thinking of where they started, how it was just not great. But, yeah, they've been good. I'm not even going to use this moment, to critique and criticize Jacoby Brissett. I don't think he deserves that after losing his job. He did the best he could. I think we all expected him to play a little bit better. But you know what? Like, this is why you've been on, 6 different teams. Like, it's not – some people are just career backups who can play in a pinch, whatever. It is what it is. Jacoby Brissett, by the way, and I guess we'll actually, after the Dolphins game, we'll talk about the mutiny that almost happened, where that was like the big thing that happened. But yeah, Jacoby Brissett, thank you. You made some errors in the last couple weeks. It is what it is. We can't expect you to be, I don't even know,
Superman.
Like, good quarterbacks this year. Kirk Cousins.
Cam Newton.
He's fucking elite.
You can't expect him to be like, here's a perfect comparison. You can't expect him to be Jared Goff. Like, that's what you can't expect.
Jared Goff, by the way, Lions. I'm picking the Lions to go to the Super Bowl in the NFC. Love them.
The Lions, they're cursed.
It's going to be
because you're an
Lions,
Eminem
Niners,
fan.
and
You're
AFC.
biased.
Sure, shit. It is what it is. I don't give a fuck. That'd be awesome. Can you imagine that? But yeah, this game, like, there's things to talk about. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. No one listening to this probably wants to hear about this game.
No.
Now, do you guys want to touch on the report or the comment by Evan Lazar on the Patriots podcast that there was a mutiny brewing in the Patriots locker room, and then he, a couple hours later, retracted it. The Patriots took down the episode off YouTube, and they actually edited the episode on a streaming site, which, listen, man, sure, you can call it petty. It is what it is. But if I'm running a company, you say some disparaging shit that isn't true, is true, whatever it is, I'm gonna fucking cut it from whatever you spoke on it on. And like, you guys know my feelings about Kraft. I don't like him anymore because of how he handled Belichick, because of the whole documentary, the Patriots doc and everything. The mutiny thing, a lot of players have come out against it. Jabril Peppers came out vehemently against it. An unnamed offensive veteran, unnamed defensive veteran said that's bullshit. Jacoby Brissett straight up came out yesterday and said that that's just people not knowing what they're talking about. Any quick comments on that before we get to the meat of this episode?
Yeah, I just
like this is the problem with media in sports and overall. Like I just think media is fucking toxic and terrible now. And I understand like, not everything has to be perfectly the truth, and you can jump to conclusions, but I wish people would preface their conclusions by saying, I am speculating here, or this is my assumption, but, and then go into it. But for him to just go on there and out lie, and granted, we don't know the exact truth, but the people you can trust the most are the players, because we've seen disgruntled players on disgruntled teams before, and they don't hide it well, or they'll out and out say like this sucks. Like we saw
You've seen
Jabril
them this
Peppers
year
last
from the
year.
Patriots.
Yeah, and last year with Jabril Peppers and Saquon Barkley, he's like, "You're lucky we're ass." Like, yeah, like players will know when, yeah, which was awesome. But
Oh,
like,
yeah.
players will give you signs that they're fucking pissed off. But like, for him to go in there and out lie, saying that there's a mutiny going on, the whole locker room is pissed. Like, no, one, that's a huge generalization that I probably wouldn't make about even like the Browns when they went completely undefeated. I'm sure there were some people that were kind of content, like, yeah, I kind of saw this
They're
coming.
still getting paid.
Yeah, and I'm
We
like,
care
okay,
more
like,
at
what do
times
we?
than the players.
Yeah, what? And it's one of those things. It's like, what do you have to gain? Well, he got a ton of fucking popularity from this, good or bad. He got fame. Evan Lazar got fame by going on there and saying bullshit. And any publicity is good publicity to people who work in the media. Like, if you're being scorned or being praised, you're still being the focus of people's attention, and you're going to be a bigger name than you were beforehand. And I just think it's a dirty fucking game all around.
So
Yeah.
I'll keep this real quick. I think if there was going to be a quote unquote mutiny against anybody, it wouldn't be Gerard Mayo. No, I think it would be against Alex Van Pelt and what he's calling on the offense. Because again, you're making a couple of the same mistakes already in week 5. We saw in week 2 against Seattle, they did the same thing, calling throwing plays, giving Seattle a chance to essentially score. They did it in week 2. Miami had a chance to do it. Luckily, they didn't do it. But like, you're giving them extra opportunities. You can't make the same mistakes. The personnel is the personnel. It is what it is at this point. You can't blame Van Pelt for that. But if you keep making the same mistakes, it's like the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. That's insanity if you keep making the same mistakes as an offensive coordinator. Bold take, if there's any coach that doesn't make it after this year, it's going to be Alex Van Pelt.
If he was in charge of that fucking field goal fiasco, I'd fire him tomorrow.
You're right, and I don't agree with it, but I would get it because I do think that it's almost like head coaches. You got to give these coaches time to and I know that he's been an offensive coordinator before, but it's like you got to give these coaches time to instill the system, the scheme. He's not even playing with the real quarterback he's going to play with, but he is now, so we'll see. But
by the way, real quick, you know who did run out of time?
Jacoby Brissett.
Robert Saleh in New York with the Jets.
Yeah, fuck the Jets.
Robert Saleh, did you? He actually hold on. Yeah,
fucking King Xerxes.
I do want to talk about that. Yes, he looks just.
He looks
like
exactly
Xerxes.
like Xerxes. Yeah.
The mutiny thing. The funny part about Evan Lazar, right before he says that, or right after, he says, "I don't want to speak in hyperbole," but then goes on to speak in hyperbole about that. So it's like, I get it. I totally do. But it's like it's frustrating when it takes off this much and it stirs up that piss poor, pessimistic, angry section of fans who are just looking for reasons to be mad at the team. Even with the Drake May news today, there's still people out there, and we'll talk about it all. We will unpack that. That's going to be the episode. But people are still mad or whatever about that. But it's like, listen, no mutiny. It's like, I get why you try to connect the dots, but you gotta words mean something, especially now when everybody nitpicks all of them. You can't use the word mutiny when you're talking about a first-time head coach, so it is what it is. But I don't think there's going to be a mutiny anymore. But like you said, though, there was a mutiny in New York, and they had to escort Robert Saleh out.
That is awesome.
The Jets
really?
Stadium. They didn't even have to do that with what's his name? Who was the
Adam
loser
Gase
that coasted there before? Adam Gase.
Yeah.
I mean, loser. He's made more money than I'll ever make probably in my life, just from being a coach, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Jets did fire Robert Saleh. Thoughts on that, guys, real quick? The Jets are going to jet, right?
Yeah, hilarious. Just truly hilarious. Like, it's so good. Every year,
all I
even when
can
they're
do.
supposed to be good. And I don't even think they're that bad of a team. Like, the Vikings are a good team. They fucking lost. Stephon Gilmore to the Patriots, one more solid one. Got the Jets coach fired. Love to see that. But I don't even
You
think the
mean,
Jets are that bad. They're just a fucking awful franchise.
did you say Stephon Diggs or did you say Stephon Gilmore?
Gilmore.
Okay, it sounded like Diggs for
Did
a
I say
second.
Diggs? I could have
It
been.
sounded like Diggs. Just real quick, do you guys know what his career head coaching record was with those Jets teams?
It's got to be
It's gotta be
terrible.
good, right?
20-36.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's not as terrible
It's
as
the
I thought it
Jets.
would be.
To
Yeah,
be
because they
honest-
went like 7-9 last year.
The only defense that I'll give him is he had Zach Wilson as his quarterback, which they
Yeah.
screwed up by taking him in the first place.
yeah,
Yeah.
They did.
yeah.
But
I don't think. I mean, I'm not crucifying them for firing him. Like, listen, he's had a couple. He's been the head coach for how many years now?
3.
3
Yeah.
years, right?
That would be at least, so if it's 17, yeah, it's about 3.25
70?
years.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So he's been the coach for almost a handful of years here. Listen, it is what it is. It's just hilarious to me. Before the year, do you remember again, people? The Jets, they're going to be sleeper Super Bowl picks. The
Yeah.
same shit they said last year. And what did I tell you guys? Aaron Rodgers, he's not who he used to be. I speak in hyperbole when I say that he sucks. He is still good because
Good,
you're
really
starting
good.
from up here. It's almost like the LeBron James argument, where
Yeah.
LeBron James has clearly fallen down from where he was, but he was so
Yeah.
high up that he's still pretty.
He's still sick. He's still averaging
Yeah,
27
but
and 7.
and I mean, I would say LeBron James. That's the only comparison because Aaron Rodgers
Yeah.
is not on that level right now. He's throwing behind receivers. He's throwing pick sixes. Aaron Rodgers gets his coach fired. Him and Stephon Gilmore conspired to get Robert Saleh out of there. Yeah, man. I think the AFC guys. I'm gonna say this and we'll move on. The AFC is opening up for the Patriots and Drake May to get the 7th seed. Miami, Mike McDaniel is kind of showing that he's really just a Miami Coke dealer. He's not that great. Probably sold Coke to Peppers. We don't know. The Jets are. I mean, we can count them off. I mean, just like every year, this just happened sooner. And I mean, the Bills are kind of. They're
not
probably going to
good.
win the division, but. Nah, and other than that, I don't know. Can you name 7 teams better than the Patriots? I'll tell you after Sunday. I don't know. But, all right. Is there, before we get out of here, is there anything else you guys wanted to,
No,
chat
I
about?
can't think of anything else that's very important.
Do we
I
want
can.
to hold on before you get all music happy? Do we want to get into detail about Peppers or do we just want to leave it?
No, leave it.
Yeah, no, just, I mean, it's
We'll
not
address
like
it because
we're-
he's going to get suspended at some point. We'll address
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
It's not like we're trying to, like, hide it or whatever. It's like, oh, people don't want to talk. Like,
I'm trying to hide
ultimately,
it.
Domestic violence, like, just, like, so many NFL players for some reason. Cocaine he had on him. Just, he got arrested.
No,
Attorney says
cocaine
that
does
they're
not make
gonna-
you a level-headed human being. I will say that. I've seen blow. I see what it does to people.
I will tell you, I have never done cocaine because I love
Me neither.
energy drinks so much. I know that I would be hooked immediately.
Yeah, 100%. That's always
I'd be a
been my
problem.
thing. I'm like, if I tried it,
And
I
I'm in
know I
Florida.
love it. I probably
So-
should do it. Yeah, which is really difficult for you to not do cocaine in Florida.
Yeah, well, I'm in Orlando, so there's more just like.
Oh, yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
have the money for coke.
Orlando's hardly Florida.
Yeah. So, all right. So I guess we'll talk about it. Glasses are back on, guys, because the Patriots' future is here. It's bright. You can see my stupid little ring light in the
Oh,
reflection of my
God.
glasses. I got to get a better one, but I'll have a good setup when I get back to New Hampshire. Once I have like a house and shit to set things up in. But
And something
but-
else.
But yes, we will discuss next week. I'll tease it. I'll tease it right now. So big announcement next week. Big surprise.
Personal announcement.
And that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah,
Yeah,
personal.
good.
Who knows for who? Is it for Liam? Is it for Al? Is it for me? I don't know. But there is a big personal announcement for someone on the podcast next week, and I'll actually spoil it. Liam and Al are actually dating. So that's
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
thing.
true.
They're actually in the same house right now. Liam got one taste of that
Hi,
today
Liam.
and said,
Going on, bud.
"Damn, I need it." No, God, we got to get into it. Drake May, starting quarterback. He's here. The future is now. I want opening thoughts from you guys, and then we will unpack this until we leave.
Do you want me to go, Liam, or do you want to go?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I cut you off. Okay. like I said in the beginning, I am happy Drake May is starting. This offense needs a little bit of juice. It needs a little bit of a boost. We thought it was going to be with Kendrick Bourne. He caught one pass, which was whatever, but he'll get more touches as the year goes along. But
Yeah.
people are saying, oh, Houston blitzes a lot. Oh, they put a lot of pressure on quarterbacks. But again, guess what? There's no perfect game. The perfect game was last week against Miami. That was the game to start it. Because he probably would have gotten you about 20 points and you probably would have won that game. But looking ahead, I mean, you could argue what? The Jaguars in London, the Titans, the Bears, maybe the Rams, whatever. Maybe the Jets at home now. But there's no perfect game to start him. So you know what? At this point, when I was arguing with a lot of people about this today, a lot of my friends, I was just like, listen, you can wrap him up in bubble wrap. You can do whatever you need to do. But guess what? At some point, you need to start the kid. And you'd rather start him sooner rather than later. So that way you can see what you got going into next year. By the way, I'm going to just rattle these off real fast. These are Patriots quarterbacks in their first start with the team. And I'm just going to read the year, how they did, and then quick stats. And there's 7 of them, so I'm just going to fly through them. Jim Plunkett back in 71, win, 6 for 15, 127 yards, 2 TDs and a pick. Steve Grogan, 75, loss, 14 for 34, 173 yards, TD, 2 picks. Tony Eason, 83, 13 for 27, 159 yards and a pick. Scott Zolak, 92, win, 20 for 29, 261 yards, 2 TDs and a pick. Drew Bledsoe, ever heard of him? 93, loss, 14 for 30, 148 yards, 2 TDs and a pick. Tom Brady, I'm sure you've heard of that guy. I'm sure we've all heard of
Once or
fabulous.
twice.
Yeah, once or twice in our lifetimes. Win against the Colts in 01, 13 for 23, 168 yards, didn't throw a pick or a touchdown. And then finally, Mac Jones, when he was actually good with the Patriots in 2021. 1 point loss to the Dolphins, but 29 to 39, 281 yards, and a touchdown. So Patriots quarterbacks have fared pretty much okay in their debuts.
They throw
and
picks.
You know what? If Drake May can scramble like everyone says that he can and that we saw a little bit in the preseason, if he's getting blitzed, I think he'll be smart enough to either run for yardage or throw the ball away.
Dude, that's my thing. I almost want him to be. And I'm sorry. I just wanted to respond to the.
No, I'm good anyway.
Thing,
Go.
Liam, and then you can go. But with the scrambling thing, people are like, oh well, what if he gets happy feet runs? I kind of want him to do that. Like that's why that's one of the reasons you have him. He is good. He's not
Want
Lamar
him running
Jackson,
for his
he's not
life.
Kyler Murray. He's not. But like, I think he will be more apt to take off. Maybe out of that, like I'm scared. I want to run for my life. But he is good at doing that. So like, granted, it's a negative and a positive where it's like you don't want him to break out of the pocket too soon, run all that stuff. But he can do it, and I think he'd be more willing to do it than Jacoby Brissett. Like, it's not a slight on Brissett; they're just different quarterbacks. But yeah. So Liam, Drake May, it's time. The Maniacs are here.
Yep. I still think it's a mistake. I still don't think it's a great idea. But there's no going back. Like, might as well fucking embrace it. If you can't beat them, join them type deal. So I'm intrigued. I think he's going to do remarkably okay. According to Patriots quarterback trends, I would imagine he'll throw 2 touchdowns and a pick, which seems to be the fucking standard for most of them.
Be incredible.
Yeah, I was looking at Houston's pass defense stats. So they are first in opponent completion percentage. They are 4th in opponent yards per pass. They are 9th in opponent passing yards per game. They're 3rd in opponent passing yards per game, 9th in opponent passes per game, 15th in interceptions thrown, and 6th in sacks. So they're actually like pretty okay. Like I would say they're just above middle of the road. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's going to be the easiest time for him, but I'm psyched. Like we fucking took this guy 3rd overall. Let's see what he can do. I hope it's not as much of a mistake as I think it's going to be, but we clearly have receivers that are willing to make plays and that have been fiending for the fucking ball more.
Yeah.
So at very least, I think we will get more entertaining games. It won't just be run, occasional Jacoby Brissett scramble for a first down and 3-yard passes the entire game. I think we'll actually see some downfield plays, And really, in the end, that's what I want. If he's going to throw picks in an exciting way. Fucking bomb the ball downfield to Booty in double coverage. I want to see risks. I want to see, just fucking throw it down there. Jameis Winston, that shit. I don't care. We're not winning. I know you have that false sense of, this is going to be the turnaround. The East is wide open. No, I still think the Jets are going to be okay. And I do think the Bills suck. But, I still don't think we're accomplishing much. We're fucking 1-4. So go
But
out
to
there
your
and
point,
fucking
Liam,
slay.
it'll be
Story.
competitive. That's
Yeah.
the whole
Great
thing.
story.
It'll be competitive.
Yeah.
Yes, and it'll be interesting. At very least, now we're going to see a quarterback that has a 300-yard passing game.
Yeah, and I mean, you talk about the Texans' pass defense. Fine, they're the 18th overall rush defense. They're giving up 120 yards on the ground, 4.8, almost just under 4.9 yards per rush. I don't think that this offensive scheme is going to be based around Drake May, his
No.
passing and everything, which is something I wanted to bring up because I came up with just in my timeline, because I told you guys my timeline is a fucking dumpster fire when anything with the Patriots happens.
Yours
so
is
there
awful.
were four things that people were really harping on here, and I guess this is the first one we'll talk about. So it's why would the Patriots announce Drake May being the starter now? Why are you giving the Texans 4 days, however many days, 4 or 5 days to plan for Drake May? And my response to that is twofold. One, how many NFL snaps does he have? I know that that college, obviously you're going to look at that tape, but you've seen him play 8 snaps in the NFL.
Yep.
So there's not that much tape. Also, even if Brissett was there, are you going to game plan for Brissett? No, because what are you game planning against the Patriots? The running game.
Yeah.
So that, no matter what, that was going to be about 70% of the Texans' worries. And then also about that, you don't think that tomorrow in practice, say the Patriots didn't announce this, you don't think that when Patriots reporters go, Drake May is taking the starter reps, the Houston front office isn't going to go, guys, I think we know who the starter is going to be.
Yeah.
There's you weren't going to sneak up on the Texans. If you did do the 50-50 thing, knowing that Drake May was going to start, that's stupid, practice-wise. So, I don't understand why people are freaking out about, why would you tell the Texans?
It would have
this?
been hard to keep the secret, yeah.
Yeah, you were literally less than 24 hours, everybody in the NFL world was going to know. So, and also, is it that different, game planning for Brissett or May, whatever it happens
I
to
do
be?
think he could have a really good game just because there's no tape on him, and it's the rookie surprise. It's like Cam Newton's first game in the league, 400 yards, because no one was really knowing what to expect from this freakishly tall quarterback. Rookies can go in there and ball. Davis Mills had a good fucking rookie year for the Texans because no one really knew what he was about, and he wasn't very good, but he still
Big-ass neck.
Yeah, the giraffe man threw the ball around and did
Yeah.
pretty all right. I think you can catch people by surprise. I think it's the Mac Jones thing too. His rookie year, people were like, we don't really know what this kid can do.
No.
Well, C.J. Stroud, too. Look at C.J. Stroud last year in Houston.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, Houston has a little bit more weapons right now, I'd say, than the Patriots.
Definitely.
But, I mean,
For sure.
look at how that panned out. Looks like Houston has their starting quarterback for the next 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
You have these teams that okay, so here's another one. I saw, the team isn't ready. The team isn't ready. So what are you talking about here? Are you talking about the receivers who we've seen for the last 3 weeks have been getting open and just haven't been getting the ball? Are you talking about the offensive line, which I'll listen to for a second because they haven't been great, but they were fine last game against a pretty good Miami defense, because Miami's defense is kind of close to the Texans in certain stats. So they're not kind of a pushover defense. They're not great,
Probably
but
better
I don't think
special
any
teams
defense
Play
is
from
great.
the Texans.
And, yeah, true. But I think it's for the team to be ready. So you're telling me we would have to wait probably 2 seasons, because if you want the team to be ready, you want a great offensive line, you want receivers who can separate and catch the ball, which means you would need a competent quarterback to do that. So the whole team being ready thing, in my eyes, you have young receivers, you have the offensive line, you got some young people, but they're still going to build or whatever. So it's why wouldn't you want the young quarterback to build with the young offensive weapons that you have? not everybody is going to be Tom Brady coming to Tampa, where all they needed was a quarterback, and they had Mike Evans, Godwin.
But it's different because it's a rookie. So allow me to play devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
So friggin' back when I was growing up and watching the game, and maybe while Al was still a young tyke and you were probably going through high school or maybe just, what should have been college for you, but you didn't go. Quarterbacks stayed in college for
401ks,
yeah, basically. Yeah. You had your first of 16 jobs that you've had. Quarterbacks used to stay in college for a long fucking time. Peyton Manning stayed for 4 years. Tom Brady stayed for 4 years. The fucking phone.
That was the norm.
Yeah, and now people are being drafted. Can you guys hear the phone ringing right now?
Nope.
Okay,
No.
cool. I was afraid. It's really loud.
Wait, hold on. What is it?
But quarterbacks used to stay in college for a long time, and that would be kind of their development. So when they got to the league, they wouldn't really have to sit, and a lot of times they'd sit anyway. But now you bring in Drake Maye, who's like 21 years old. You got Jaden Daniels out there. Yeah, you got Jaden Daniels, who's like 25 or something, because he stayed in college for a while. He would be the exception. He's somebody that had plenty of college reps to do so. But you're bringing in these young guys now and expecting them to be, Bo Nix would be another one. It's very practical, a safe way to go about it. But you're bringing in these young guys now who have played in college for like a year or two. And Drake Maye, that just doesn't have that much game tape. He's like J.J. McCarthy. He just hasn't played. So practical wise, I don't want to put him out there. He hasn't played football at a professional level for very long. Even in college, he didn't play for that long. I want experience. So you're going to bring him in here into this meet with just no fucking offensive line, and receivers are fine. They're above average, but they're not great. And it's not a great situation. Patrick Mahomes was able to sit for a year and come in because they were fucking sick and they were stacked. But he's kind of the outlier now. I wouldn't mind Drake sitting for all of this year and getting a better team around him and getting a team that's not on their third string center and doesn't have everyone on IR. Practicality wise, it's just a fucking bad idea. And they're expecting people who are way younger than us now, which is fucking wild. But I remember when I was 21, I was a dipshit. And I would not be able. Yeah. 100%. 11 years, yeah. 21 years maybe.
Almost
but
12.
friggin', yeah, I think it's such a dumb fucking idea to give the keys of a franchise and to a 21-year-old who fucking hasn't played that much. We're investing a ton of money and our stress into these 21-year-olds, and that's unfair. And I think it's just going to blow up in most teams' faces. There's always going to be outliers, supremely talented people who will rise to the top. But if Tom Brady spent 2 years at Michigan and then went, I don't think he'd be as good as he was.
No. Different time. Definitely need to be there. My only pushback, and Al, I want to know what you say too, and then obviously just further the Drake Maye thing. I don't think most fans, and there's some fans that think he's going to come in, set the world on fire, go on defeat from here on out. I think just right now, it's what we're looking at. Brissett is not the guy. The team is very much floundering with just morale, play, everything. They're missing things. It's you know what? Get Maye in there. You shouldn't be expecting a bunch of wins. What this is, and this is what I've been saying the last couple weeks. Start, and I hate this saying because I keep seeing it, but start the clock with him. And when I say start the clock, I mean start let's knock off all the rookie rust, all getting out of the huddle on time, handing off the ball correctly, learning how to.
And that's where I can agree, because we're not going to win and we're 1-4. And if you're going to go out there and make a ton of mistakes, I get it. But I also certainly. But if he's a fragile human being, which I don't know for sure, and you don't know if he is super solid or if he's a huge pussy, he might go out there and just get shredded and his confidence would suck and he'd become Mac Jones, because Mac Jones was clearly fragile and was used up and
you
abused.
can tell by Mac Jones's ears. That's something that a lot of people didn't notice.
Ears.
It's Tyquan Thornton with the wrists, and it's Mac Jones with his ears. You see his ears, you could tell he's a fragile guy, because he got picked on, he got pulled on a lot by those big ass ears.
Yeah.
Al, what do you think with the whole, which I guess what it comes down to is going to be my last thing that I saw on there, which is basically what Liam just said. Drake Maye being ready. Do you think that should he sit? Like, is he ready? What does that even really mean? Like, having someone be ready? Because I think that Liam, more than basically anybody I've seen on Twitter, articulated it, which is crazy, a lot better. Because it's
That
like
doesn't happen.
I get what he's saying because it is an unknown, and it's basically do you want to check box yes or check box no for the unknown there. But Al, Drake Maye coming in, is he ready? Should he have sit? Is it going to be an unmitigated disaster? Liam hates Drake Maye, so what do you want to do?
Would you?
So I'm going to relate this to a personal experience for a second. I'm going to relate it to me.
Bidet, the bidet, the first time you used the bidet?
No. So one of my goals in life is to be a high school varsity baseball coach, head coach. That's one of my goals for the future. I want to do that. I just had an interview for a varsity head baseball coaching position. And one of the things that I said, I didn't get it, but one of the things that I said was, how do you get experience if somebody doesn't give it to you? And that's what it is here with Drake Maye. How do you gain experience if Gerard Mayo doesn't give him the opportunity to get some experience with in-game decisions, in-game audibles, and everything else?
That's what practice is for.
Yeah, but practicing games, are two different animals. You played football.
Definitely.
You know the deal.
Yeah, certainly preseason games. Like
Right.
That's how did Tom Brady develop? How did anyone who sat for any extended amount of time get reps? Get ready for the modern game.
And guess what? Brady put the time in practice. Then when he got his shot in the games, he got his in-game experience.
After a year and a half or a year and a quarter.
Right. But then, even for Drake Maye, right? He had a full training camp. He had a full preseason. He's watched Jacoby Brissett for the last 5 weeks. He's done, like you said, the reps in practice. Now it's time to get the in-game reps.
For
That's the whole
3 months.
So what?
3 months.
So
that's
what?
not a long amount of time at all.
And again, this is where I said this. I said this earlier, and I'm going to just say it again. With Jacoby Brissett, you knew what you were getting.
Yeah.
It's
I honestly expect it a little better, but
it's vanilla.
We all did, but
bland. It's
it works. He doesn't turn the ball over.
He turned it over in San Francisco.
He did one game,
and I've just said, he still turned it over. But
1 out of 5 is pretty good.
It's not bad, but here's the thing: you can only get so far. Hopefully, this is the jolt in the arm to again give us competitive football. Yeah. It doesn't have to be wins, like we said earlier, but at least give the Patriots a chance to be competitive. Not like last year where it was non-competitive on offense. And by the way, every single year since 2020, the offense has gone down and down and down. So if this kid is your future, which I think he is at this point, more so than I believed in Mac Jones, I think this is the chance to prove it. Come out here, play a respectable game. If you lose 24-17, but you have the 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, or 1 touchdown and a pick, and you are presentable and you're not getting killed, I think that's a good sign going into London and then going into the Jets home game. And that's going to show you what you can hope to see for the next 10 to 15 years.
The way I think about it is, and I'll use an easy comparison here, I guess, would be Mitch Trubisky. 2 years at the exact same college as Drake Maye went to. And how did that turn out? And granted, he wasn't on a great team, but we're not a great fucking team. And, maybe the Bears were a little worse than we are now. I'd make the argument, it's fairly comparable. But first season, 7 touchdowns, 7 picks. They go 4-8 with him as the starter. And he has his best year in his second year, but it takes fucking development. The dude just didn't play that much football before getting to the league, and he got thrown in there. And then after his one-off year, he was pretty terrible after that.
Yeah, he was bad. Let me. I want to read you guys something real quick. The QB sack leaders through their first 50 starts, because I know people are worried about like him taking sacks and all that stuff. Jim Plunkett, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, Joe Burrow, Tom Brady, Geno Smith, Matt Stafford, and Jared Goff. So I only say
2 Patriots
this,
quarterbacks on that list.
I only say this to say, just because Drake Maye might get hit this season and next season, that does not mean that his career, the Patriots' future, is stunted because of it. Again, we're comparing, and this is why I think this discussion is fun to talk about it with people who can, like, give and take here other arguments like all 3 of us can. It's like, we don't know, because I think the bottom line out of all of this, what is Drake Maye's makeup? Is he built like a Mac Jones, where you might see the frustration, you might see the whatever? Is he built like, I don't know, name another quarterback that got hit a lot and still played well, whatever it happens to be.
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning, yeah, his first year, horrible. Like who is he? And I think we were gonna find out because he was going to play this year. There was a plan they had in place, all that fun stuff. Everybody can talk about, well, what was their plan? Was this it? That's fine. Everybody's arguing about, well, why are we starting him now? We should start him next week. We should start him the week after. And this goes to what Al said. Listen, the team needs it now because at the end of the day, you can look at this from a bunch of different angles, from a fan, from an owner, looking at it like a company, like an organization, from coaches, from players. But if you're looking at the team needed this. There was too much tape, too much stuff on the field where you just saw that Jacoby Brissett was stumbling at times, which, again, not a huge criticism to him. We all like him. It is what it is. This is just what needs to happen. I know that the Texans isn't ideal, which is fine, but people are talking about the Texans like they're the fucking 85 Bears, which they're not. No, Liam, you and I have said this for years on this podcast. No defenses are statistically great every week now. Even your top defenses, it ebbs and flows. You just got to hope maybe it ebbs a little bit.
The Browns are good last year. They're shit this year.
And then even when the Browns were good, they still had some games where, like...
Yeah, they gave them a ton of yards to the Steelers.
Exactly. So, like, you know what? I get it, but we'll just throw him in. You know, and I'm not saying just throw him in and not care for him. Obviously, try to play call around it, whatever it happens to be. But, like, I just see so many people freaking out about this. And if you take, like, because I feel like the three of us, we do kind of not analyze in, like, an overthinking way, but we do think very much about a lot of the things the Patriots do. Look at this from just a strictly fan watching a sport or a team that they like. The starting quarterback was not getting the job done. You have a rookie who we all think is going to be really good. He's playing now. Listen, let's just see what happens. Like, let's stop for a second.
I agree.
Over-analyzing it, which we won't, because right after this podcast, we're going to all over-analyze it in our heads to other people, whatever it is. But, guys, we have the potential future of the franchise starting now. We've seen him in college get out of bad blocking, throw deep, throw on the run. We saw it in the preseason. So, like, let's just watch it. Let's stop thinking about the potential doomsday scenarios going on right now. Like, he's going to get sacked. He's going to get hit. It is what it is. If you're worried about injury, that's fine, but that's not a reason not to start him. Like, Drake Maye, you think, and again, there's a lot of unknowns. That's what I just said. You think that he is better than Jacoby Brissett. Strictly talent, he is. Arm strength, running, it is what it is. He's going to have bumps and bruises, which, seeing defenses, he's probably going to get lured into a couple picks here and there. You know, he'll have like a savvy veteran defensive back or something like that, lure him into a pick. It is what it is. Rookie mistakes, rookie bumps and bruises. Get those out of the way now. So next year, he has 3/4 of a year under his belt with Jalen Pope, Pop Douglas, Hunter Henry, with Ramondre Stevenson as his back, with Javon Baker if he plays, Kayshon Boutte. Like, start it now. I'm thinking in the future in a positive way. While some people are looking in the future like, well, what if he forms bad habits, or what if he whatever? You're telling me that Drake Maye is dumb enough to just to not, like, understand that this year's offense won't be the same as next year. Like, the whole forming bad habits thing, a little bit overplayed too. So because you kind of hope that coaching gets that out. He's also a whole mold of clay right now. What is it, 15 games? Or no, not 15 games. 12 games? 5, 6. Yeah, 12 games isn't going to form these habits that he can't break out of. So, I don't know. And again, we're all guessing because we don't know. But that's just my thoughts on it. I'm also just excited just as a fan. Like you said, Al, games are competitive now. You would think.
I also think a quarterback's as good as his team. Like, look at Sam Darnold now crushing it with a good team and an incredible coach who's been known as a quarterback's coach.
Sam Darnold did well against this Texans defense, by the way.
Yeah, he did. But he's doing well against it. They're 5-0. He's doing well against every team. He's fucking balling. Yep. But, like, before this, he was unwatchable. He was terrible. That Panthers game that the Patriots played when J.C. Jackson had that long pick six. I think it was our first year, me and Mike doing the podcast. We were psyched. We were like, "This is going to be a dick kicking." Like he's awful, and he was. And friggin' like so, you're quarterback's only as good as the team. I just don't think the team's very good. And there's no coach on this team that I go, yeah, they're a quarterback whisperer. Not even to that extent. Somebody who's just like very good with quarterbacks, like Alex Van Pelt was good with Joe Flacco, but Joe Flacco's been in the league for 12 years. He knows how to play fucking quarterback. He won a Super Bowl. He doesn't even need Alex Van Pelt to give him tips. He's like, I know what I'm doing here. Deshaun Watson, I love him. He's the Michael Jordan of football. He's not playing at his caliber right now at the moment, and I'm sure he will get back to it. But Alex Van Pelt couldn't fucking do anything for him either. They had PJ Walker go in there.
The Giants that they got. That's the part of the quarterback's coach now. What's his name?
Ben McAdoo.
Ben McAdoo is here too, and he's done well with quarterbacks. Not offense.
No, he hasn't.
Defense, whatever. Yes, he has. Eli Manning had some of the best years of his career with him. I mean, Daniel Jones, not Eli Manning. Sorry.
I was going to say, if it wasn't the two Super Bowl years, and
Yeah.
Daniel Jones wasn't that good. He wasn't good.
True,
he wasn't
true.
good.
But Drake May is better. Drake May. But I'm sorry. Keep going because I didn't mean. I was trying to think of his name.
But that's about it. Like, it's the Baker Mayfield thing too. Like now he's on a team, doesn't even have like a quarterback's coach kind of thing, but he's on a damn good team with a fantastic head coach and good structure around him and great weapons. He's gonna ball. But we're bringing Drake May into this fucking bull jive of a third string center can barely snap the ball, but when he does, he holds. It's like, oh, this is gonna be brutal.
Does this change your mind? Not the sunglasses.
Oh, I was gonna say it
know,
does.
I don't know I look damn good in sunglasses. Do you guys know what jerseys the Patriots are going to be wearing on Sunday?
Are they
Is it?
Know?
the Reds?
Do you guys have a guess? What
I
jersey?
guess
the
the
Reds?
Reds.
It's the fucking Reds. And
That
do you also know who's going to be bringing the good luck from Florida up to New Hampshire this Sunday?
That would be the whitest of mics.
The whitest Mike you know, me.
Damn right.
I think the universe is kind of coming together right now. But I will say, seeing the fact that Drake May's first game is going to be at home in the throwback Reds is
Why don't we go to the game?
It's pretty. I don't have money to spend on a game. I'm just buying tickets. The funny thing, we have tickets to go up there. We don't have tickets to come back yet.
We could go tailgate. Tailgating's free.
Oh no, I can't. I got a thing Sunday. I can't.
You got a thing.
What I told you guys
You got a
before.
thing.
Kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got a
Hey,
thing
that's
he has
fair.
to
That's
do.
fair. He's got a thing. He's got a thing. Kid's got a
No,
thing.
but either way, we'll figure it out. Actually, while I'm
Yeah,
up
the
there,
thing.
maybe we should all like get a drink on one of the.
I'd like
one of the
that.
days.
I would, but I'm going to be away this weekend.
Wow,
during
you
the week.
suck.
99s
Maybe.
are open everywhere.
Yeah, true.
But yeah. So I mean, Drake May though, guys. I don't. There's a bunch of other things, other ways you can talk about it, different conversations, debates you can like kind of retread. They're similar but different. But I just think that he gives the offense a little bit of a spark. Mainly, if you're talking about on-field play, he can throw off platform. He can throw off his back foot, off whatever he whatever he needs to do to get the ball to where it needs to be. There's plays that Jacoby Brissett has missed where I think that he might get to. So I don't know. I'm happy about it.
Yeah.
I
At very
think
least, I am excited.
There's a healthy
It's something
amount of
new.
nervousness. Of course there is.
Right, of
But
course.
Let me ask you guys though, before we get out of here, Patriots Texans Sunday at home, throwback jerseys. I wonder who the lighthouse captain is going to be. It should just be fucking Drake May. Fucking have Drake May up there banging the fucking lighthouse. Nico Collins out for the Texans, most likely.
Huge.
We don't know for sure, but they said he's week to week. So he's
Huge
most
for the
likely to be
Patriots
out.
and huge for Al's fantasy team.
Huge for yeah. No, you guys had it. You guys had a debate. Also, by the way, Christian Gonzalez Pro Bowler this year, 100%.
Yes.
So you got Nico Collins out, who is the best receiver in the league yards wise. So I will throw it to one of you guys. What do you think is going to happen this game, and who do you think is going to win? I kind of want a little bit of both.
Poppy wanted to play a little game with us here. So I was thinking we all chip in $5 and we all guess a stat line, and whoever's the closest gets the money.
Okay.
That sound fair? Al, is that too rich
Sure.
for your blood?
Sure. Can do that. I'm gonna say I got my
I'll go
stat line
last.
already.
I'll go last.
Hit it.
Just for Drake May, right?
Yeah.
17 for 32, one pick, one touchdown.
Mike, you want to write these down? We need
Yeah,
this
let
in
me just
writing.
fucking
We
do
got-
everything. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bitch, write this down. And then after, make me a sandwich.
15 of 32.
17 for 32, one touchdown, one pick. I'm gonna say I'll say 213 yards.
Okay. I will say, I will say 15 of 26 for 175 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick.
2 touchdowns and 1 INT. All right, so Al is 17 of 32, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 213 yards. I don't know why I read it like that. Liam is 15 of 26 for 175. That's what you said, or 130?
Yep.
Well, yeah,
75.
My 7 looks like a 3. I got glasses on.
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, 1 pick. All right, I am gonna go. I kind of have to, right? Like I can't.
You're going
You
big.
do.
All right, I'm gonna go 23 of 32. No, 33 because I'll have
General consensus. You guys think he's throwing the ball more than 30 times?
23 of 30 because I think they're going to be down, so I think he's going to have to.
Fair.
Yeah.
23 of 33. I'm going to go 1 touchdown. I'm going to go 1 pick.
Only 1 tub for your boy?
Only 1 touchdown because I think Stevenson's going to eat. I think him and
Yeah.
Gibson, by the way, are gonna do well, and I think he's got. You know what, guys? 235.
235.
Yeah. I think.
So
it's a
you
good-
got him going for the most yards of any of us?
I got him going. Yeah. So just to recap, Al 17 of 32 for 213, a touchdown, a pick. Liam 15 for 26 for 175, 2 touchdowns and 1 pick. I went 23 of 33 for a touchdown, a pick for 235 yards.
Okay. So, and we'll get, we'll go over this on the next show. We'll say who's closest to it, and there probably will be multiple factors. So if there's kind of a dead split, we can just make it null and void. But if there's a clear-cut winner, they're getting assumably $10 because they would just keep the money they put in.
Cool. Yeah. No, I like it. I like it a lot. So,
Cool.
Yeah. Oh,
I totally expected like 3 touchdowns from you, and I'm very
I was
surprised.
thinking fucking 4.
Yeah.
All right. So just quick roundtable before we get out. We'll start with Liam. How do you think the game is going to go? Just general, whatever, and who do you think is going to win?
I think it's going to be a shootout. We're going to lose 28-17.
I have Texans 27-17.
27-17. I think it's going to be
I
Texans.
got Coach Saleh's answer.
I think Texans are going to get up big, probably by 2 scores, 14, 13, whatever it is. I think the Patriots are going to chip back. I'm going 21-17 Patriots. Someone's got to pick the Pats. So actually, no,
Bold.
23-17. 23-17. I think they seal
23-17.
it. They're trying to seal it with a touchdown at the end. They got to kick it. The defense has to make a play. So, but yeah. So yeah, no. I'm
Jabril
picking
Peppers
Patriots
gets
to
the
win.
pick.
I'm picking the Patriots. Oh, do you guys think Gonzo? Do you guys think he? Do you guys think he gives up? I don't know, 3 catches this game. I don't know.
I think he puts the clamps on Diggs, which will be real cool.
Diggs, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then Diggs gets traded the week after for flipping his fucking shit.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right. Yeah. So for Tuck Rule Takes, this was episode 150, the Drake May episode. The new era is
History,
here.
baby.
Yeah, let's go. I'm pumped. Throwbacks. Drake May at home. Drake May against CJ Stroud. Good team. Let's go. Measuring stick. Let's go. First game. Let's see what's going to happen. Thank God this happened because this was going to be a depressing podcast if this news wasn't announced.
Must watch TV this Sunday, 1
Must
p.m.
watch. And honestly, I think for the rest of the season, must watch for Patriots
Yeah?
games now. Has to be. Drake May's here. So to all my maniacs, we are out next week. Big announcement as well for one of us. But yeah, any parting words before we go, boys?
Drake May time.
Drake May.
Let's see what he's got.
Drake May time. Let's go, maniacs.
Could have been Joe Milton.
All I have to say. See you next week.